We've gone over all of Fallout New Vegas's unique weapons before, but those are far from the only unique items in the game. There are also plenty of unique armors, clothes, and outfits. These offer different stats and bonuses than their non-unique counterparts, and sometimes have cool or interesting stories associated with them. I counted 67 total uniques. Let's get into it. Advanced Riot Gear. First up is the Advanced Riot Gear. It, alongside the NCR Ranger Combat Armor, Desert Ranger, and Riot Gear, are some of the best looking armors in not only New Vegas, but all of Fallout. It is found in the Lonesome Road DLC, located in the Crow's Nest. It is being worn by a deceased ghoulified NCR member. He doesn't need it anymore, so just take it. Fun fact, the helmet has a horse insignia that appears to be a recolored version of the real-life shoulder patch that the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment of the United States Army uses. The Advanced Riot Gear has a damage threshold of 21, weighs 25 pounds, it has a unique effect called Riot Response, which gives the wearer plus 10 to explosives and plus 1 to endurance. It has the 4th highest DT of all medium armors in New Vegas, so it's quite good. The matching helmet has 5 DT, weighs 6 pounds, and gives the wearer the Sneak Sight effect, granting plus 2 to perception. It's good gear, but not the best variant of this style of armor, at least in my opinion. Next. All-Purpose Science Suit. The All-Purpose Science Suit is a unique variant of the Enclave Scientist outfit. Originally, it was cut from the game, but the 1.2 patch released in December 2010 added it back. It can be found in the Followers' Safe House, only accessible after becoming idolized with the Followers of the Apocalypse faction. The suit has a DT of 13, a really low weight of 2, and provides plus 5 to the science skill. It has the best damage threshold to weight ratio of any armor in the game. We call that efficiency. It's actually not that bad as far as light armor goes. Ambassador Crocker's Suit. Just like in Fallout 3, New Vegas has plenty of NPC-specific unique clothes and armors. One such outfit is Ambassador Crocker's Suit, belonging to the NCR Ambassador to New Vegas. Crocker's suit is only obtainable from either killing or from the reverse pickpocket method. For those who don't know, if you reverse pickpocket a better armor onto an NPC, usually this just means an armor with a higher damage threshold, then you can wait a bit, usually like 24 hours or so, then if you come back to the character you pickpocketed, they will be wearing the armor you gave them. Then you can just pickpocket their unique clothing from them. Easy peasy. Just make sure you save a bunch. Outside of looks though, Crocker's suit is pretty trash. I suppose even if you consider the looks, it's still trash. It just looks dusty and dirty, almost as if he works in a desert or something. The suit gives you 1 DT, weighs 1 pound, and provides no other bonuses. The coolest thing about it is the California poppy on the heart. Moving on. Arcade's Lab Coat. But sometimes some outfits can only be obtained through console commands. While you can attempt the reverse pickpocket method on Arcade, if you peruse his inventory after equipping the new gear you gave him, his lab coat will not be there. I don't even know where he would have put it. That guy's a little sneaky fella. But that's okay, because his lab coat is quite miserable stat-wise. It gives 0 DT, weighs 2 pounds, and gives plus 5 to science. Just get the all-purpose science suit instead. Much cooler looking, and much better. Armor of the 87th Tribe. Now we're back to some good armor. The armor of the 87th Tribe is a unique Legion armor worn by the Legion Centurion turned Markman, Gaius Magnus. He can be found at Drywells, only accessible after sending the nuclear missiles from the Divide at either the Legion or both the NCR and Legion. The armor gives 22 DT, weighs a hefty 35 pounds, and gives some good bonuses. Plus 10 to your action points, plus 3 to your critical chance, and plus 1 to your charisma. It has superb item durability at 3000, the highest of all New Vegas armors. It's quite slick too. Armored Vault 13 Jumpsuit. Part of the pre-order exclusive Classic Pack downloadable content was the Armored Vault 13 Jumpsuit. That's right, to get this now iconic armor, you had to pre-order New Vegas. Though eventually the Classic Pack, as well as the other 3 pre-order bonus packs, Caravan Pack, Mercenary Pack, and Tribal Pack, would be bundled into another downloadable pack, the Courier's Stash. Thank goodness for that. Anywho, the Vault 13 armored jumpsuit has 8 DT and weighs 15 pounds. The suit is based on the armored jumpsuit that the Vault Dweller is seen wearing at the end of the first Fallout game. I'll never complain about free gear at the start of New Vegas. With that being said, I will complain about all the pop-ups. Assassin Suit. Reverse engineered from the Chinese stealth armor is the Big Empty made Stealth Suit Mark I, aka the Assassin Suit. It was taken by Christine Royce when she left the Big Empty in search of Father Elijah at the Sierra Madre. As such, the suit can be found in the Villa Clinic at the Sierra Madre. The suit gives 14 DT, weighs 20 pounds, and provides a plus 10 bonus to the sneak skill. Personally, I like the Assassin Suit better than its Mark II counterpart that we'll get to later near the end of this video. Atomic Valence Tri-Radii Oscillator. Speaking of Big Empty creations, our first, quote-unquote unique headgear is the Atomic Valence Tri-Radii Oscillator. It is this weird bright blue series of halos that hover above the player's head. Now, I'd hate to do this, but technically this headgear isn't unique. There are actually 2 obtainable Atomic Valence Tri-Radii Oscillators. One can be found on the corpse of the unique Cazador Specimen 73, and the other can be found in a footlocker found in a crater at the X-7B Boomtown target zone after firing the X-7A left field artillery launcher cannon. Woo. How fun. The oscillator gives 4 DT, weighs 1 pound, and provides a +1 to endurance and a unique health regeneration effect. While it may not be unique in terms of how many oscillators there are, it certainly is unique in terms of design. Benny's Suit. I'll say it. No one wants to talk about it, but I'll say it. I think folks are too scared to admit this, but Benny's suit is iconic. I've done Fallout QA videos asking what things are iconic from Fallout, and you know what rarely gets brought up? Benny's suit. Like, come on, his checkered suit has to be iconic. It's like the first thing you see when you start a game. But I digress. Benny's suit offers a lone DT, weighs 3 pounds, and gives the player +5 to the barter and speech skills. It's only fitting, right? With Benny being a smooth talker and all. To get his suit, just kill him or reverse pickpocket him. Boone's Beret. The first quest item on this list is Boone's Beret. It is given to the player during the One for My Baby side quest. It is promptly removed from your inventory after you successfully complete the quest. No RIP Genie. Genie's a bad girl, so no RIPing. As a quest item, the hat really offers nothing worthwhile. 0 DT, weighs 0.1 pounds, and has no bonuses. And if you're about to say, Nort, you're wrong, the stats are so good, I say that you're wrong. The beret you're thinking of is the first Recon Beret, not Boone's Beret. The first Recon Beret is the one that's quite good. Brotherhood Elder's Robe. If you ever want to roleplay as your very own wandering Brotherhood Elder, then make sure you get the Brotherhood Elder's Robe. But be so for real right now, who would ever roleplay as a wandering Brotherhood Elder? That sounds kinda dumb. The robe gives 1 DT, weighs 2 pounds, and offers no other bonuses. Yeah, it's not that good. If you want the robes, you're gonna have to nab them off Elder McNamara at the Hidden Valley Bunker, or if you help remove McNamara from his eldership, you're gonna have to nab them off Elder Hardin. Might not be worth turning the Brotherhood hostile, though. Kaisar's Armor. Now, if you don't mind turning the Legion hostile, you could snag Kaisar's armor from the man himself. Though, aside from the looks, it's not very good. It has 5 damage threshold, weighs 3 pounds, and provides a +5 bonus to survival and speech. The frustrating thing about the armor is that it does count as faction armor. So not only do you turn the Legion hostile by killing Kaisar to get it, members of the NCR, Brotherhood, and other factions might turn hostile while you're wearing it. Just turns New Vegas into a bit of a free-for-all. The enemy of my enemy is also my enemy, apparently. Caleb McCaffrey's Hat. Perhaps the most unexpected unique item is Caleb McCaffrey's hat. Who is Caleb McCaffrey, you might be asking? Well, he's a bounty hunter who is severely in debt to the Garrett twins. As part of the debt collector quest, Francine Garrett asks you to track down Caleb McCaffrey and collect his hat as proof of the kill. As such, it is a quest item, and like all quest items, it is quite garbo. And that makes sense. Quest items aren't supposed to be useful. They're quest items after all. Caleb's hat gives 0 DT, weighs nothing, and offers no other effects. Just wear the non-unique counterpart, at least it gives you some stats. Chalk's headdress. The New Vegas DLCs have some of the best ways of giving the player gear. In Honest Hearts, after beating the main story, you're teleported to the area's exit. In front of you will be a footlocker with a bunch of unique goodies. Chalk's headdress is one of these items. It gives 1 DT, weighs 3 pounds, and offers a +5 bonus to melee weapons. The biggest flaw of the item is that while taking on the appearance of a hat, you can't wear glasses with it. And for that reason, I'm out. Christine's COS Recon Armor. I've said this before, I'm sure, but the best part about the Old World Blues DLC is the fact that it feels a bit like an amusement park. There are so many locations, collectibles, unique weapons, unique armors, and mini-bosses to discover. Christine's Circle of Steel Recon Armor is one of those unique armors. It can be found in the X-17 medical facility, hidden among the debris near the auto dock. It has nearly identical stats to that of the default Recon Armor, except it gives 19 DT instead of 17. Like the normal Recon Armor, it gives +5 to sneak. But if I'm honest, I've always thought the Recon Armor looked a little lame. The concept art is much cooler. Moving on. Courier Duster. One of the most unique items ever made in New Vegas is the Courier Duster. It is found in the Footlocker after completing the Lonesome Road DLC. What makes it so unique is that it changes both in terms of appearance and effect, depending on your reputation with the game's major factions. If you have accepted or better reputation with the NCR, you get the Great Bear version that comes with the NCR flag and gives the player +1 endurance and +5 to carry weight. The Legion version, Fighting Chance, has the Legion logo and gives +1 strength and +15 to action points. The Strip version, Old World Justice, has the 13-star pre-war flag and gives +1 to agility and +30% radiation resistance. And lastly, the independent version, Blackjack, has a 21 inside of a spade and gives +1 luck and +30% poison resistance. All versions of the Duster give 13 DT and weigh 3 pounds. It's quite cool, even if the sleeveless Duster makes you look like a bit of a tool. That rhymed. Daniel's outfit. Daniel's outfit is the outfit worn by Daniel. The outfit and accompanying hat are found in the Honest Hearts Footlocker after beating the DLC. The outfit gives 2 DT, weighs 2 pounds, and gives +5 to both barter and medicine. The hat gives 1 DT, weighs 1 pound, and gives +1 to perception and +5 to speech. Very diplomatic set of effects. Dean's Tuxedo. Unique to the King of Swing is Dean's Tuxedo. Relative to other companion and character-specific clothing, it's quite easy to acquire. Once Dean becomes your companion, you can take it from his inventory through the trade menu. The suit provides no DT and only gives +5 to speech. It's not really good in the slightest. Terrible, in fact, I'd say. Desert Ranger Combat Armor. We're finally back to some good armor. The Desert Ranger combat armor and helmet can be found in the Stone Bones Cave in the Honest Hearts DLC. The armor gives 22 DT and weighs 30 pounds. The matching helmet gives 5 DT and weighs nothing. Combined, the Desert Ranger combat armor and helmet have the same DT as the T-45B power armor and helmet, with the benefit of weighing less. Any armor that competes with power armor is always good in my book. As expected, it has a similar appearance to the NCR Ranger combat armor. The main differences are the more desert drab color scheme and the writing on the helmet. Now, despite the suit being called Desert Ranger and being found in one of Randall Clark's caves, Joshua Sawyer has confirmed on Formspring that the armor belongs to someone named R.B. Vickers, and that Vickers was never a member of the Desert Rangers. This makes me believe that R.B. Vickers was once a pre-war US Army soldier, and at some point the armor found itself in the possession of Randall Clark, the survivalist. As for how this came to be, though, we can only speculate. Lots of potential lore for something so mundane. Dr. Klein's glasses. We've got some lame uniques coming up. It is what it is. Dr. Klein's glasses once belonged to the big empty scientist, Dr. Klein. As he's now a brain robot, he has no need for glasses. As such, they can be found on a table within the think tank. The glasses give 1 DT, weigh 0.25 pounds, and provide the science sight effect, which gives +5 to repair and +1 to intelligence. Dr. Klein's scrubs. To pair with Klein's glasses are his scrubs. As Dr. Klein is now a brain bot, he has no need for scrubs. Scrubs can be found in House 101 in Higgs Village. They give 4 DT, weigh 4 pounds, and provide +10 to science and +2 to intelligence. When worn in combination with the glasses, you'll complete the Clandestine challenge, granting XP. Free XP for a little bit of a fashion show. I'll take it. Dr. Mobius's glasses. Similar to Klein, we're going to do the same song and dance with Dr. Mobius. His glasses can also be found in the think tank. They give 1 DT, weigh 0.25 pounds, and provide the mad science sight effect, giving +10 to explosives and +2 to intelligence. How fun and flavorful. Fun fact, Klein's and Mobius's glasses are the only glasses which give DT and have a weight. Dr. Mobius's scrubs. Matching Mobius's glasses are his scrubs. They can be found in the Forbidden Zone. They give 6 DT, weigh 6 pounds, and provide +1 to charisma, +15 to science, and +2 to intelligence. Like Klein's fit, when one wears both Mobius's glasses and scrubs, you complete the Mobius Strip Challenge, giving XP. Elite Riot Gear. Bow down. The Elite Riot Gear is one of the best armors in the entirety of New Vegas. It can be found on a deceased and ghoulified NCR soldier on the top floor of the 3rd Street Municipal Building outside of Ulysses Temple. To start, the Elite Riot Gear has the 2nd best damage threshold of any medium armor in the game. It gives 22 DT, weighs only 23 pounds, and provides the Riot's Ruin effect. This effect gives +10 to guns, +1 to charisma, and also a flat +5 critical chance. It is one of the few equipment pieces in the game to give a boost to critical chance. The matching helmet gives 6 DT, weighs 6 pounds, and provides the Red Scare effect. This gives a low light vision, +5 to speech, and +2 to perception. So not only does it look great, it has the stats to back it up. It really is bloody brilliant. Eulogy Jones's hat. Wait a minute. Didn't we cover this in the Fallout 3 video? What the heck? Well, yes we did. But Eulogy Jones's hat can be found and acquired in New Vegas. Not the suit, just the hat. If one buys enough tips from Rotface, the gossiping ghoul in Freeside, one will see him flaunt his newfound wealth, wearing the feathered hat. If you want the hat instead, you'll either have to kill him or reverse pickpocket him. Don't worry too much about Rotface though. Killing him doesn't give any bad karma or Freeside infamy. You're good. Father Elijah's robes. Next up is Father Elijah's robes. These are the unique robes worn by the former Brotherhood elder turned madman in the Dead Money DLC. They can be looted off his corpse at the end of the DLC. Alternatively, they can be found in a footlocker after completing the DLC in the abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker. The robes are visually similar to the standard Brotherhood Elder robes, but a bit darker and more worn down, fitting Elijah's old tech messiah vibes. Stat-wise, they've got a damage threshold of 2 and a weight of 2. They offer no additional bonuses, but weirdly enough, they do count as faction-specific clothes, able to be used as a disguise. Alright, moving on. Follower's Lab Coat. Next we have the Follower's Lab Coat. It is identical in appearance to that of the Follower's Doctor Coat, but with better bonuses. Both the Lab and Doctor's Coat have the same DT, which would be 0, but where the Doctor's Coat gives only +5 to Science, the Lab Coat gives +10 to Science and Medicine. You can get it from Julie Farkas at the Old Mormon Fort, but only after becoming idolized by the followers and joining them. To join the faction, donate enough meds until Julia says they're overstocked, then back out of the convo. She'll start a new one, offering you a spot in the followers and handing over the coat. Looks good, buffs your brains, and gives you some nerdy street cred. Not the worst clothing option ever. Gannon Family Tesla Armor. Now we're talking. The Gannon Family Tesla Armor is one of the best armors in the game, and for what it's worth, it is the best medium armor in New Vegas. Why is it classified as medium? I do not know. You get it through Arcade Gannon's companion quest for Old Lang Syne. Finish the quest and convince Arcade to return to Freeside afterward, and he'll hand it over as a gift. The armor gives 26 damage threshold, weighs 35 pounds, and adds plus 10 to the energy weapons and plus 20 to radiation resistance. Excellent across the board. Plus, it's the lightest piece of power armor in the game. There's also a matching helmet. It's got 6 DT and 5 pounds of weight, with a -1 charisma penalty. I would skip the helmet and wear something else, unless you really want to complete the look. Still, it's top tier gear, great stats, great style, and relatively lightweight. Hard to beat a Gannon family heirloom. General Oliver's uniform. Next we have NCR Top Brass, General Oliver's uniform. You'll only find this outfit at the very end of the game. It's on the corpse of General Lee Oliver when encountering him at the end of the game. Stat-wise, it's got 0 damage threshold, but it gives plus 2 to charisma and plus 20 to action points. And as you should all know by now, bonus AP is always welcome. It's a great stat to have. The downside though is that you basically get it right as the game ends, so unless you're using console commands, you won't get much use out of it. Still, stylish, authoritative, and a nice trophy if you're not too fond of the NCR. Hazmat Suit. Next up, the Hazmat Suit from Old World Blues. Don't get it confused with the stiff, voice-muffled suits worn by the Sierra Madre Ghost people, as this one would seem to be a deluxe model. You'll find it in a sealed pod at the Hazmat testing grounds. To get it open, you'll either need the Hazmat pod security code from the Z43 Innovative Toxins plant, or a sonic emitter upgraded with the correct frequency. Once it's open, the suit and its cowl are yours. The suit offers solid protection against environmental hazards, granting plus 85 poison resistance, a Cazador's worst nightmare. Weirdly though, the suit has no gloves, which seems like a major oversight for a hazmat suit. But whatever, man. Gloves are overrated anyway. The matching dark light cowl gives 2 DT and a cool night vision effect. It makes sense with those green eye slots. It's a little freaky if I'm honest. Jason Bright's outfit. Now here's a unique outfit that you can't get, at least not without using console commands, and that's Jason Bright's outfit. Stat-wise though, it's pretty miserable. It's not even worth putting in the console command reference ID. It gives a measly 1 damage threshold, but I suppose it does give a massive plus 40 radiation resistance, but it's not like Jason needs that. He's a ghoul. Radiation's supposed to heal him. Anyway, Jessup's bandana. You might remember Jessup as one of the great cons involved in the whole Courier attempted murder plot. He's not exactly a major player in New Vegas, but he does get his own unique bandana. Stat-wise, it exists. No damage threshold, but it does give plus 1 to perception. It's not much, but hey, it's literally just some folded fabric. Can't complain about that. Joshua Graham's armor. An iconic armor up next, Joshua Graham's armor, the burned man himself. It's the outfit he wears while preaching and pistol whipping White Legs. Stat-wise, it's excellent for light armor. 15 damage threshold with a weight of just 8. That's the same protection as combat armor at less than 1/3 of the weight. It's got the 4th highest DT in the light armor category, only beaten by some of the heavier Sierra Madre armor and Vault 34 security armor, but those weigh twice as much. It's got one of the best DT to weight ratios, and to top it off, you get a bonus 3% critical chance. You can grab it at the end of Honest Hearts in the magical footlocker. Great armor, just don't expect it to come with flame resistance. Legates armor. Worn by the fiercest warrior of Caesar's legion is the legate's armor. While the armor cannot be looted off the deceased legate at the end of the game, the matching helmet can. It also suffers from the same problem that General Oliver's uniform has, in that by the time you get the helmet, the game is essentially over. You really don't get a chance to play around with it. So, in reality, the best way to get legate's armor and the helmet is to use console commands. The armor gives only 15 DT, which seems a bit low. It is actually the second lowest of all heavy armors, and it weighs a hefty 45 pounds. Oof. The helmet is okay though, giving 4 DT at 2 pounds. But if it's good enough for the legate, then surely it's good enough for me. Lightweight leather armor. Like the armored Vault 13 jumpsuit, the lightweight leather armor was once only acquirable through the pre-order exclusive Caravan pack, though that changed with the release of the Courier stash, which bundled all the pre-order packs together. The lightweight leather armor stays true to its name, giving 2 more DT and weighing 5 pounds less than the standard leather armor. Really quite good to start off. Lightweight metal armor. Part of the Mercenary pre-order exclusive was the lightweight metal armor. The armor gives the same DT as normal metal armor at 12, but weighs 10 less pounds. I should also mention that like almost all other heavy armor, the lightweight metal armor isn't lightweight enough to avoid the typical -1 agility penalty. Unlucky. Speaking of lucky, lucky shades. Another unique that appears in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas are the Lucky Shades. Like the all-purpose science suit, the Lucky Shades were added in patch 1.2. They can be found in the Caesar's Legion safe house after getting liked or higher Legion fame. Like the name implies, they give +1 to luck, one of the few apparel items to do so. Something a bit interesting though, is that if you selected the 4 Eyes trait at the start of the game, the Lucky Shades give +3 perception instead of the typical +2 perception that glasses give when you have 4 eyes. They're a great pair of shades. The Marked Beast Helmets. Next up we have a grouping of 4 unique helmets, the Marked Beast Helmets. They each slightly resemble the Legate helmet. Each is worn by one of 4 unique marked men in the Lonesome Road DLC. They all give 3 DT and weigh 3 pounds. The first helmet, Beast Eyes, is worn by Blade, who can be found near Ulysses' temple. It gives +3 to melee weapons and +10 to your hit points. The second helmet, Beast Face, is worn by Beast, who can be found near the High Road entrance. It gives +3 to melee weapons and +2 to crit chance. The third helmet, just called the Marked Beast Helmet, is worn by Blister, who can be found in the Marked Men base. It gives +10 to energy resistance and +2 to energy weapons. The fourth helmet, Beast Tribal, is worn by Bonesaw, who can be found near the Ashton Silo control station. It gives +3 to melee weapons and +3 to unarmed. Some cool trophies. Can't complain. Motor Runner's Helmet. Up next is another unique helmet. Worn by the Fiend leader, Motor Runner, is Motor Runner's Helmet, a unique variant of the Fiend battle helmet. It can be looted from his corpse, or Motor Runner will part with it if you agree to let him live. Now, the helmet does count as a quest item, as it can be given to Colonel Shu as proof of the kill, but handing it over is entirely optional. The helmet gives 2 DT, weighs nothing because it's a quest item, and provides a +5 bonus to melee weapons and a +1 bonus to perception. Anything with 0 weight is good in my books. Infinite value. Mysterious Stranger Outfit. Another unique piece that is shared by both Fallout 3 and New Vegas is the Mysterious Stranger outfit. It can only be obtained with console commands. Where Fallout 3's version was middling, giving 5 damage resistance, New Vegas' version is kinda cracked, giving 55 damage threshold. Super OP. The matching hat gives 5 DT, which is also quite high for just a hat, but he's got like 20 layers of Kevlar sewn into his jacket. Naughty Nightwear. Another Fallout 3 and New Vegas shared unique is the Naughty Nightwear. It can be purchased from Mick at Mick and Ralph's. No DT, but it does give +10 to speech and +1 to luck. Again, like the Lucky Shades, it's one of the few apparel items that gives a bonus to luck. Those guys at the tops are going to be really confused seeing a guy in leopard pajamas playing some blackjack. But hey, whatever gets the wins. Party Hat. Maybe the weirdest unique item in New Vegas is the Party Hat. It's found on the corpse of a prospector in the Devil's Throat, next to the game's unique minigun. It doesn't really do anything aside from letting people know that you're down for a good time. Pimp Boy 3 billion. I debated back and forth as to whether or not to include this item, but I figured, why not? It's unique. It could be considered a clothing item after all, right? The Pimp Boy 3 billion is a unique silver and gold plated Pip Boy 3000. It is given to the Courier after completing an unmarked quest on behalf of Mick and Ralph. Part of the requirements for that unmarked quest is to complete the How Little We Know side quest. It's a purely cosmetic item, but it is a cool collectible and apparently 1 million times better than the default Pip-Boy. At least that's how I think the numbers work. I don't know. Police Hat. Wee-oo, wee-oo, it's the sound of the police. Another strange unique item in New Vegas is the Police Hat. It can be found being worn by Dermot in West Side. The hat gives no real stats, no DT, no bonuses, and no authority either. Sucks. President Kimball's Suit. But what might give you some authority is President Kimball's suit. It can be looted from his corpse after he dies during either the You'll Know It When It Happens quest or Arizona Killer quest. It gives no DT, does not count as an NCR disguise, but it does provide a +5 bonus to speech. It makes sense, I guess. The guy can yap. Rebreather. Another truly unique piece of gear in New Vegas is the Rebreather. Jack gives it to you during the Volaire side quest if you pass a speech check or bring him a pressure cooker. As such, it does count as a quest item, weighing 0 pounds, and being unable to be removed from your inventory. Oddly enough, the Rebreather is one of the few items in New Vegas that provides damage resistance instead of damage threshold. It gives 3 DR. But the special effect of the Rebreather is that it allows you to breathe underwater. Breathe, breathe, don't tell me to breathe. Regulator Duster. Another piece taken from Fallout 3 is the Regulator Duster. It's worn by the Lonesome Drifter, the mysterious cowboy hanging out near El Dorado Gas and Service. Stat-wise, it's got no damage threshold, so it's not the greatest armor, but it does give +5 to guns. So as long as you shoot first and don't ask questions, you'll be good. Salt Upon Wounds' Helmet. Salt Upon Wounds' helmet is the headgear worn by the war chief of the White Legs. It looks quite intimidating with bones, blood, feathers, and such. You get it at the end of the Honest Hearts DLC, in the footlocker. Stat-wise, it gives 4 DT, +5 to sneak, and +2 to critical chance. Doesn't offer much protection, but if you want to strike fear into your opponents, it's a great pickup. Scorched Sierra Power Armor. The counterpart to the armor of the 87th Tribe is the Scorched Sierra Power Armor, a unique version of the T-45D Power Armor. It is worn by Colonel Royas on the Long 15, only accessible after nuking the NCR at the end of the Lonesome Road DLC. It gives 24 DT, +2 to hit point regeneration per second, +25 to fire resistance, and +1 to strength. And unlike many heavy armors, it doesn't have an agility penalty. We take those. So if you want to go full Scorched Earth, what better armor to wear than that of the Scorched Sierra Power Armor? Sheriff's Duster. Just like how Fallout 3's Sheriff's Duster is unique to Lucas Sims, New Vegas's Sheriff's Duster is also unique. It can be found in Prim's Sheriff's Office. But be warned, the duster will disappear from the office once you complete the My Kind of Town side quest, so grab it before it's too late. The Sheriff's Duster, while not giving any damage threshold, does provide a +1 bonus to charisma and +5 to guns. I should note that as the duster is pulled from Fallout 3, the badge does read Megaton, which is kind of funny. Spacesuit. The spacesuit and its matching helmet, the spacesuit helmet, are next. They can be found in the RepCon test site basement during the Come Fly With Me quest. The suit gives 10 DT and +40 radiation resistance. Gotta keep those astronauts protected. The helmet just gives 4 DT, but it weighs nothing and is unable to lose durability. Very impressive. It's not the worst light armor in the game, that's for sure. Plus it's retro. It gives you that otherworldly aura. Stealth Suit Mark II. The Stealth Suit Mark II, aka the Oral Stealth Suit, aka the Psychoanalytic Cardiac Dampening Sneaky Stealth Suit, is a unique piece of medium armor. The suit can be found in 3 separate pieces in 3 different rooms inside the X-13 research facility. Once all the pieces are collected, the armor will spawn in your inventory. Compared to its companion piece that we mentioned earlier, the Assassin Suit, it isn't all too different in terms of stats. They both give 14 DT, the Mark II weighs 5 more pounds, and gives plus 15 to sneak instead of plus 10. But that's where these similarities end. The Mark II has a built-in medical system that will administer Med-X and stim packs. The suit has an onboard AI that talks to you, and it has 4 firmware upgrades that add various bonuses if the player completes the different infiltration tests at the X-13 facility. The first bonus gives plus 10 to sneak, adding to the base 15 sneak, totaling 25. The second upgrade gives plus 1 to perception, the third gives plus 1 to agility, and the last upgrade lets you move 20% faster when crouched. Great bonuses, great perks, great armor. But as I said before, I'm not a huge fan of how the suit looks. It's a bit too bright for my tastes, plus it can get you addicted to Med-X, and we don't need that kind of enabling in our lives. Suave Gambler Hat. The easiest unique clothing to acquire, besides the ones that you start with from the pre-order packs, is probably the Suave Gambler Hat. The only requirement is that you take the Wild Wasteland trait, and I'm pretty sure most people play with it anyway. It can be found with the fridge skeleton on the way out of Goodsprings. It gives plus 1 to perception. Quite the suave hat indeed. Trench coat. Now, here's a weird one. The trench coat and the accompanying fedora. They're technically unique pieces of clothing, but that might be a bit of a stretch. The only person you'll see wearing the 2 pieces is the deceased Detective Jay Barnes, found in the Ultralux. The trench coat gives 5 damage resistance, making it one of the few items in New Vegas to give DR instead of DT, and the hat provides 0 damage threshold. Also worth noting, if you're playing with the Wild Wasteland trait, Barnes doesn't even show up. He's replaced with the hatless and trench coatless Crusoe. In short, 2 unique items, but not particularly useful ones. Tribal Raiding Armor. Then we have our final pre-order exclusive armor, the Tribal Raiding Armor. This one was part of the Tribal Pack before being added to the Courier stash like all the others. It has the same stats as the typical Raider armor, 4 DT at 15 pounds. Not the best ratio, but hey, at least it's free. Tuxedo Hat. You know who has style? Mortimer from the Ultralux. You can tell because he's the only person in New Vegas to wear the tuxedo hat. And if you want to copy Mortimer's style, you gotta take it from him. The hat gives no DT, but it does provide a plus 1 to perception. Again, not the greatest, but it's probably the best hat if you want to make your courier a magician. Ulysses Duster. Perpetually worn by Ulysses is the Ulysses Duster and Mask. They can be found in the Rewards Footlocker after completing the Lonesome Road DLC, and they're not bad at all. The Duster gives 13 DT at 3 pounds. Great ratio. One of the best even. And it gives a bonus plus 1 to Charisma and plus 5% bonus to Critical Chance. I'll always welcome a flat Critical Chance bonus. As for the Mask, it gives 3 DT and a fat plus 50 radiation resistance, 5 more than the non-unique Breathing Mask. I like it, it's a good set. I'm just not a super fan of the sleeveless jacket. It just looks goofy to me is all. US Army General Outfit. One of the coolest looking unique clothes in the game is the US Army General Outfit, aka the LAZ-009 General's Overcoat. While it is a retextured version of Colonel Autumn's uniform from Fallout 3, the olive drab coat on top of the khaki jacket looks cool as hell. It can be found on the corpse of the ghoulified General Martin Retzlaff in the Hopeville Missile Silo bunker. It gives a lone DT, but it also only has 1 weight. It also gives the General's Influence effect, which grants plus 10 to speech and plus 5 to guns. Can't be mad at those stats. Fallout New Vegas, more like Fallout Drip Vegas. Vance's Lucky Hat. Another unique hat is Vance's Lucky Hat. It was stolen from the Vicky and Vance Casino, and is currently being worn by Sammy Wins, found at the Wins hideout. The hat gives +1 perception. Despite the name, it gives no bonus to luck, but I suppose that's to be expected as Vicky and Vance were killed after accidentally driving through the middle of a shootout. Safe to say that Vance isn't very lucky. Vera's outfit. Another one of the best looking clothes in New Vegas is Vera's outfit. Both the male and female variants go stupid hard. 2 copies of the uniform exist, so I suppose it's technically not a unique, but it's way too good to go without mentioning. One copy can be found on Vera's skeletal corpse, and the other can be found in a wall safe near the hotel vault elevator. The outfit provides 2 DT and gives a bonus +5 to speech, +5 to barter, and +1 to charisma. A smooth talker's best friend. Interestingly, Vera's dress is the only apparel item that has a Pip-Boy icon that shows a female Vault Boy. Vault Girl, if you will. It's spiffy as hell. Vicky's bonnet. Our penultimate unique armor and clothing is Vicky's bonnet. It was stolen from the Vicky and Vance casino and is currently being worn by Pauline Wins, found at the Wins hideout. Like many of the hats we've previously mentioned, it only gives +1 to perception. Nothing screams 1950s more than a big brimmed hat. Viva Las Vegas. And our final unique apparel item is the Viva Las Vegas. It is the outfit worn by the King. It gives 5 DT, and unfortunately, nothing else. No other bonuses. The outfit acts as a reference to the film and song Viva Las Vegas. Elvis Presley wears a similar suit in the movie. And that wraps up every unique Fallout New Vegas armor and clothing in the game. Which ones are your favorite? What outfits do you try and get as early as possible during new playthroughs? Let me know. But that's all from me today, folks. If you liked the video, be sure to share and subscribe. Join the Discord. Have a good rest of your day. Cheers.
Shh, we're very stealthy. You're my best friend forever.